Welcome back into the Canarian Revolution. This is the save where I'm going to be taking Tenerife to the top of Spanish football whilst we try to build the Canary Islands into the epicentre of Spanish football also. We are looking to build Tenerife using players that are born in the Canary Islands only, which means that it's pretty much going to be a youth save as we go along. And we're going to look to lean on some of the bigger clubs in the Canary Islands to steal some youth players, whilst we also develop our own. If you've been with me across the journey so far, you will know by now that we are top of the Segunda division, or the Liga Hypermotion as it is now called, and in today's episode I've moved forward to the 5th of February 2025 and we have two very important matches, the first of which will speak for itself as we take on Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey, and that happened only just a couple of days after the last episode. We will then move forwards into the season, play another league game as we progress forward, and we will catch up with everything that happens between the two games along the way. As I said though, the Real Madrid game is coming off of the back of the previous episode, so I'll show you the schedule. We've only played one game since the 1-0 win against Ibiza, and it was a disappointing game where we would lose 3-1 to Elche. Never really at the races. Even though it was close towards the end, they scored in the 86th and 94th minutes to win the game. But yeah, even though the scoreline suggests that it was 1-1 for a long time, we were not at the races, which doesn't really hold us in good stead, considering we are now going to play against the Spanish champions. Luckily for us, we have already set the lineup. I pretty much know in my head what my first 11 was going to be for this game already. So we're not going to waste time going around and showing why or what. We're just going to announce the lineup and we're going to go straight into the game. So the starting 11 to face off against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey will be Salvi in goal. Medrano, Leon, Herzog and David Rodriguez will be our back four. Our two holders will be Alonso and Nazan. We've got Waldo, Perdomo, Teto and Cantero up top. Fingers crossed we can put up a good fight. This is going to be a tough game, but let's jump into it and see what happens. If we can get away with not conceding too many goals and not bursting the bubble of what's going on in the league, I'd be actually really happy. But at the same time, we have to be realistic. We are inviting the champions of Spain to our stadium. So, and it looks like they are putting out a full strength team too, because Rodrigo is tearing up the defender on this side of the pitch. He gets a cross in and the ball's cleared away. Dani Ceballos has gone to ground and it's going to be a penalty, which is something we didn't need, giving away needless fouls. David Alaba steps up, takes the penalty, smashes it home. Luckily for Real Madrid, didn't come back to bite them, putting Alaba on the penalty as it was a cool, confident, calm penalty, and he gives them the lead. Let's watch again as he steps up. Salvi kind of just falls in a heap on the ground. I think the goalkeepers in this game are a little bit strange. I think in real life, if he would have saved it, that had every chance of being retaken. Yeah, looked a little bit dodgy in coming forwards off of his line. But we are at the 14-minute mark. We are having a highlight at this end of the pitch, but I do think that they're going to clear it and catch us on the break. It's Medrano on the left. Can he cross it in? He can. Can't do anything with it, but David has got it on the far side. He crosses it in, and there's Cantero to give us an equaliser against Real Madrid. I did not have that on the cards. I was happy enough if we were going to get away with a couple of goals conceded, but to get one back and get back on level terms after just 14 minutes actually fills me with a bit of hope that we could play some really good football here. Lunin got down low, couldn't stop the shot. Cantero gets us back into the game. So an interesting one. We have scored with our first shot on target. We're going to have another highlight here. But it's only a free kick that's cleared away as far as Ardagula. Waldo takes the ball off of him. Leon to Alonso. Teto tries to play it to Waldo. He kind of stumbles forward, but sprints back and catches the ball. He's going to cross it deep. Lunin can't get there, and Cantero has hit the post. How close do you need to be to wanting to take the lead against the champions of Spain? Just to touch on Real Madrid's team, I did think it was quite a strong lineup, but they have Lunin, Mendy, Alaba, Militao, Rudiger, and they got Sanchez, Tchouameni, Ceballos, Gula, Endrick and Rodrigo. So interesting to see. We have kept Endrick so quiet. We've seen a bit of Rodrigo. We've seen nothing of Endrick yet. Ardagula only in that battle in the middle of the park. So interesting to see that Endrick hasn't got into the game, which is interesting because there are certain games of Football Manager, certain saves of Football Manager, shall we say, where his attributes don't always develop fully. I mean, strange enough, here he is picking the ball up on the edge of his own box, and he's now going to run and destroy our defence, I'm sure. David with a good tackle, though. He didn't get the ball away, had no options, and we're going to bring the ball forward now with Alonso to Medrano. Can he play it up the line? He can't. Rudiger's going to take it off of him. Plays it back to Lunin, and what's he going to do with it? It's to Sanchez, plays to Tchouameni. Real Madrid now adopting that slow build-up of play. Can we take the ball back anywhere? We're trying. Everybody's pressing. Everybody's doing their job, trying to get to the ball. Mendy's cut inside. Renato Sanchez plays it to Ardagula. Mendy again. When are we going to find Endrick? That's the question, because I've been slagging him off, but it's not. It's Tchouameni that gets the second goal. Although, are we looking along the line? The goal is disallowed for offside. Now, that's an interesting one. No VAR in the Copa del Rey. We're only in the 4th round. So, interestingly, the goal was ruled out for offside. We didn't see any lines. We didn't go to VAR. So, we breathe a sigh of relief, although it might only be a short one, because there is Endrick. He's hit the crossbar, but he too is offside. I'm going to take that breaking play there to just make a couple of changes. Let's see if we can get Dominguez on to the right wing for Teto. Let's bring Roca on in place of Leon, if we can do that. Where is he? Roca for Jose Leon, and Danny Martin can come on in place of Alonso in the middle. We will go... Oh, in fact, we're going to put Palanca on as well in place of Rodriguez, just because he's on a yellow card. So Real Madrid making a few changes too. They put on Ahmed Hodzic. They have made some really strange transfers, considering they got Renato Sanchez and Ahmed Hodzic playing for them in this competition. But, hey-ho, Real Madrid doing Real Madrid things. And they have the ball back here. Militao just hoofs it all the way back to Lunin, who plays it to Rudiger. Can we get the ball off of Rudiger? We cannot. He plays it to Alaba, who plays it back to Rudiger. There's got to be a pass here that's loose. Surely we can pick the pass off. We can't. It's Ardagula. Luckily for us, Salvi, who I've criticised in the past couple of episodes, comes out, makes himself big, and makes it a corner. It was a bit of a random clip there, wasn't it? The ball just bouncing off the corner post and going out. And Ahmed Hodzic is aimed at the near post. He has the header, and once again, Salvi is there to stop it. 70 minutes on the clock. We have 20 to last out. Ahmed Hodzic is the target again, and obviously he's tall. I think he's something like 6'7", if I remember rightly, from when he was a wonder kid a couple of games ago. And obviously the target at the near post. They can't get him to get the ball inside the net though. 8 minutes to go. 82 on the clock. They have a throw in. Renato Sanchez to Rudiger. Alaba plays it to Tchouameni. They're knocking it around now. Ahmed Hodzic to Ceballos. Militao is going to run at us. He turns back, plays it to Ceballos. Is he going to cross it? He is. And sadly for us, there is Rodrigo to break the resistance that we have shown. We have played so well in this game. I have to be so proud of the team. So Militao, I thought he was going to just skip past his man. Instead cuts it inside. Ceballos goes in between two defenders. He gets a deflection on the cross, but there is Rodrigo with the header. And we'd already had one let off with the second goal that they scored. And then this now confirms it is 2-1. And I think we're probably running out of time, because I don't think we're really going to put up too much of a fight in the last couple of minutes. But we have the ball and we're charging forward with Palanca. If he could cross the ball here... Oh dear. What is happening? So, it's either a red card coming for Renato Sanchez. Was that Sanchez? It is Renato Sanchez. Gets a red card. Interesting to see that happened. We're going to go very attacking for the last couple of minutes. It's going to be futile anyway, but it's a bit of a crazy one, because I thought Sanchez won the ball. It didn't look like anything was happening, and I thought we were going to have an injury to right back Palanca, but instead it was a red card. And I think we played really well considering the scoreline. We've lost 2-1 to the champions of Spain. They've had 14 shots without on target. We had 11 with 4 on target. Considering we're a team that normally plays possession-based football, we had 45% of the ball to their 55%. I think we've done fantastically in that first game. So nothing to be embarrassed about. We have played really, really well. So let's have a little look at the competitions before we jump forward. So we are currently top of La Liga Hypermotion, which is the Segunda division. We have 54 points from 25 games. We have a 2-point lead over 3 clubs who are chasing in behind us. Let's see then, can we push forwards? Where should we go to? I think we will probably play against Real Oviedo next 6th of April. So we're going to jump forwards to Oviedo, and then we're going to show you how we've got on since this game, and we'll be back in just a second with the second game. Okay, we have now jumped forward. It's the 6th of April 2025, and we are building up to match day against Real Oviedo. Before we jump into the game though, let me show you everything that has happened across the past couple of months since we played Real Madrid. Going to the schedule, you can see that since that Copa del Rey 4th round defeat, we have been perfect. Absolutely immaculate, a 100% win record. And doing it, we would beat Real Zaragoza 2-1. We would beat Mirandes 2-0. Eibar 1-0. We would beat Deportivo La Coruña 2-0. Cádiz 5-0. Castellón 4-0. Levante 2-0. And Gijón 2-1. That means that after a perfect run of games, we are now sat top of the Segunda division, La Liga Hypermotion, by 7 points, and we have a game in hand on Levante and Zaragoza, who are chasing us. So with a win of the game in hand, we will be 11 points clear at the top of the table, and we will be within touching distance of winning the league. Let's have a quick look at the squad and show you what's been happening there then. In terms of goals, our top goal scorer is still Waldo. He's also our top assister still, although 15 for Lucimi Cruz means that he is moving on up in the assists. And we have a number of players who are chipping in really well. Palanca has 10 assists from right back. We have Medrano with 12 assists from left back. We've got Cruz from right midfield, 15 and 16 for left-sided midfielder Waldo. In terms of the goals, Cantero has 16, Solomon has 11. He has 11 in 11 starts, and he has been out injured for the past couple of months. He's now back at the club. Strangely enough, as soon as he came back from his injury, he got called up by the Spanish under-18s. So a little bit frustrated that we couldn't put him back in our first lineup, but he would go off and play for Spain. In terms of the other players, let's have a little look. Wama Herzog, who came in, he's played 4 times. He's starting to develop now as a player, as you can see. The other players that we brought in, so Nazan is still doing fantastic. 17 years old. He's only 5'5". I didn't notice that at the start when he came through at the academy. Only 5'5", but he's developing in all the areas that we need him to develop to be one of those inspirational type of Luis Garcia, who played for Liverpool type of player, where he's short, doesn't have the world's biggest stature, but what he'll do is dazzle you with his feet, a little bit like Phil Coutinho too, where he can then create something from nothing. Playing him as a holding midfielder means that he wins the ball deep and can pass the ball on into the attacking areas. So everything is flowing. We are on a perfect run. Let's have a look then at the lineup that will play against Oviedo. So we'll have Salvi in goal, Palanca at left back. Don't know why we've got Palanca at left back. Oh, it's because we have an injury to Medrano. Sorry, I picked the team beforehand. Yeah, we have an injury to Medrano, and we don't really have cover at left back, so we're going to play Palanca at left back one day, Raka and Jimenez will cover at right back. We've got Alonso and Nizan in the midfield too. Waldo, Perdomo and Cruz as the attacking 3 midfielders, and Bueno will start up top. So let's jump in and see if we can move 3 points closer to securing a league title. And once we get to La Liga, that is where it starts to get really interesting, because by the end of season 2, obviously, we want an all-Canarian team. By the end of season 1, we have already hit the target of having an all-Spanish team, apart from the 2 foreign players who qualify as Spanish. As Javi Alonso gives us the lead. Yeah, we do have 1 or 2 players who have first nationalities, but were born on the Canary Islands. So Even though they are eligible to play for, say, Uruguay in Perdomo's case, he also qualifies to play for Spain. So trying to get the squad in shape once we get into La Liga is going to be interesting. I think we're going to get there a season too soon, and I do fear once we move on to some of the non-Canary Island players, we might have gaps and we might struggle to compete at the highest or top quality La Liga teams. But I do think we'll hold our own, and I do think that with one or two of the right signings, and if there are the correct youth players out there and we can get the right players and put them in the system, I do think we'll give it a good go. But I do think we're going to get there a season too soon. But we are on the attack here again as Perdomo is running towards the box, turns back, it's Palanca who cuts onto his right foot, and it's a save by the goalkeeper to put it out for a corner. Let's see what Cruz can do with the corner. He's going to cross it in, it's headed back towards him, takes a touch, left-footed into the box, all the way back out to Palanca, and then nothing doing. So 23 minutes on the clock, we've had 3 shots, 2 on target, scored our goal, and once again we are having a lot of the possession. It was up to 55% just, it's down to 52, but Oviedo haven't had a shot yet. And just as I'm about to say that, I'm about to jinx it, aren't I? Because they play the ball into the box, it comes back out to the edge of the box, and typically with their first shot on target, as Football Manager loves to do to frustrate people, Oviedo have equalised with their first shot on target. So Alassane plays it to Costas, he holds it up, kind of cheeky back heel, and then Alassane blasts it past Selvi to make it 1-1. So with 5 minutes or so left of the first half, I don't think we've actually done anything wrong in the first half. We've played some good football, got our goal, and just conceded that goal right at the end. And there is Perdomo. He's going to give us a 2-1 lead as we go into the break, hopefully. And I was just about to say, I don't think we've done anything wrong in the first half, and I think it's pretty harsh if we don't go in front. Scrap all that. We are going to go in front. Perdomo with a smashed finish through a crowd of players, keeper on the floor, and we have the lead back. Yeah, looking at the stats there, it would have been absolute criminal if we did not go in at half-time with the lead. We had 8 shots, 4 on target, we had 53% of the possession. We have been by far the better team, and it just so happened that their 1 shot on target was their 1 goal also. So fingers crossed we can breeze through into the second half and we can continue to play some really good football. We have Javi Alonso, Jimenez, Perdomo and Nizan all scoring above a 7 rating. We're going to make some changes here. I've just noticed that Perdomo is actually carrying a knock, so Tavio can come on for him. And then we are going to do the usual thing that we do. So let's bring on Herzog in place of Juande. And let's bring on Cantero. But we're going to play him on the right wing instead of Cruz. So let's see if any of those substitutions can make any difference. But it is Oviedo who are pushing forwards. Ball's taken off of them. Perdomo is still on the pitch at the moment, but he's injured. Could have played a part in the goal I thought we were going to score there. It actually goes out. I think it's a corner kick, and we're going to get the opportunity to make those changes. What can we do from the corner? Waldo is going to play it in. It gets headed up in the air. It looked like for a couple of seconds it was going towards goal. It only ended up at the feet of Waldo, and there is Raka to give us a 3-1 lead. Fantastic piece of play. So the initial corner gets headed up in the air. It looked like it was going towards goal, but it didn't. Vieira heads it out. Waldo then with a daft little pass into the path of Raka, and he's hit it right-footed. Keeper's gone down kind of early and doesn't get anywhere near it, and we're 3-1 up. But there is a chance here for Oviedo. Salvi comes out and deals with the corner really well, but the ball gets played back over the top for Sebas. He's into the box. Can we stop him from shooting? We can. As Nizan sets off Bueno on a counter-attack. Bueno is in, and luckily for us, he just puts it over the bar. It was a fantastic back-to-front effort as we got the ball in our own box, played it straight forward. Nizan with the pass. Those were the passes I was talking about in being able to play from deep and set up attacks as Tavio flashes the shot past the post. Yeah, you can set up plays from deep, and he could set up attacks with balls, just penetrating defences like that. He left Bueno 1 on 4 basically, but Bueno had the pace to get in, get the shot away, and then couldn't capitalise on it. But that is the creativity that we are looking for. Could have been a penalty there, but instead Cantero is going to score. Although, is he going to score? What's the ref going to do here? So it clearly looked like there was a foul in the build-up to this goal. We're going to VAR to check what's happening. He's disallowed the goal, but strangely enough, there was a blatant attempt. Okay, he actually wins the ball, doesn't he? On second looking, the player wraps his foot around and kicks the ball. So couldn't have been a penalty, and then the goal was ruled out for offside. So one of those where I thought one thing would affect the other, and it turned out that, yeah, it was correct the whole time. So shot from Oviedo is turned over. They're going to have a corner. There is 4 minutes of added on time, and they're not acting like a team who needs to score a goal to get back in the game here, as they just wasted a load of time from a corner. And then when the corner does come in, it's disappointing anyway, because they've just headed it up and into the air. So game over, 3-1 victory, another 3 points on the board. We've had 20 shots, 8 on target, and 2.32 XG and 56% possession share. We have played some fantastic football, and we now have a 10-point lead at the top of the La Liga high promotion. Played the same amount of games. Levante on 71 now, 81 points for us. We have a 61 goal difference, and we are really starting to turn the screw on the other teams. In terms of what's left to come then, there is 2, 4, 6, 8 games left to go now. We have Huesca, Cordoba, Cartagena, Albacete, Almeria, Burgos, Santander and Granada. So the aim here, if the title race goes down to the last day, is possibly to play the Granada game. If it looks like we are going to win the league early, there is a chance that I will come back and you won't miss anything that is going to happen in terms of us lifting the league, if and when it happens. The other thing to note here is our youth intake is due. We are now on the 6th of April, so it is very close to youth intake day. According to this, we are going to have an excellent intake of players, 4.5 stars, and it's saying central midfielders. We have a top prospect in the centre of midfield. One of our young wingers looks like a handy prospect too. So hopefully we can have a look at all of those once they arrive at the club. So I'm going to leave it there in terms of this episode. If you've enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with the entire series. Once again, I'm going to ask, in fact, I'm going to beg, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and I would absolutely love it if you could help me out by just subscribing to the channel, interact with the channel. And if you like the content, like I said, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of the other videos on the page. So for this one, I'm going to leave it there. I shall see you on the next episode of the Canarian Revolution.